यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ओम ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। ओम सर्वेभ्यो सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः। My best wishes and paripurna ashirvadams to all. May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 8 of 10th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha Matta Sarvam Pravartate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha. As we saw, Bhagavan Krishna began with the introduction of the 10th chapter in the first 3 verses. Then from verse number 4 up to 7th, he gave a main content of this 10th chapter, which is known as intermediary level of Ishvara Swarupam. What is this intermediary level, otherwise known as second level of understanding of God? Because from the chapter 7th, we began to learn about Ishvara Swarupam. There I mentioned, even in the 9th chapter also I mentioned that there are 3 levels of understanding of Ishvara. Because first the 6th chapter, which deals with individual understanding about our own body, mind and sense complex and the consciousness, which is known as a supreme one called Atma. There no word about God. Krishna is very specific in his teaching. No word about God in the first 6th chapter. Then he began from the 7th chapter as Ishvaraha. Nowhere he is mentioned, my name is Lord Shiva or Mahavishnu, I am the Lord Ganesha. No, he is just revealing the basic fundamental nature, that which is supreme nature of the world, that which is the substratum of the creation. Because Bhagavad Gita is a science, the text which deals with the science, it has to hit directly. That's what Bhagavan Krishna is doing here. When you study about Ishvara, you have to study completely. That's what he said, Pashyame Yogamaishwaram. In the last words, he just mentioned Yetam Vibhutim Yogam cha Mamayo Veti Tatvataha Sovikambena Yogena Yujyate Natra Samshayaha Saha Vikambena Yogena Yujyate. He will be endowed with a kind of yoga which is known as unshaken yoga, the knowledge which cannot be shaken, by which knowledge one can develop himself. That's what Krishna's method of teaching. So this teaching you can fix with all the Shad Darshanas or Shad Dharmas. If you are the worshipper of Lord Ganesha, you can apply this as it is. If you are the worshipper of Lord Maheshwara or Mahavishnu or Lord Parvati, Adiparashakti or Lord Kartikeya, you can apply these all tattvas. The content which is given here by Lord Krishna can be applicable to all the Shanmatas. Whether you are the worshipper of Ganapatyam or Kaumaram, Saktam, Shaivam, Vaishnavam, or Sauram, doesn't matter. Just you can apply. So your Ishta Devata can be anything. From that Ishta Devata you can develop yourself. That is the glory of Bhagavan Krishna. Though he is a Mahavishnu's avatara, but he is not sticking with only that name and form. That becomes the glory of Lord Krishna. The Krishna can be worshipped in any form, or Krishna can be understood in all form. That is the glory. This is the second level. When a devotee could able to set a bhakti, generate a bhakti, that is what my word. When you could generate bhakti from you, you are considered a human being. If you don't have the bhakti, means love towards you, love towards the word, love towards God, all together known as bhakti. That bhakti is a kind of bridge through which you can just reach the God, just reach your own completeness. Therefore, here the understanding about God is very much important. So when you understand, then alone you could communicate, isn't it? But here, if, for example, I am telling, if you come to know there is a person, the person's name is Ganesha, so now you can write the letter because he is the chief of a company. So you can communicate with him. So you can also communicate, just you can write this letter I am writing to the chief of the company. Then also it will reach there. That's what the technique here. So just after realization of the God alone, you could communicate with him. So this is what the certain people are understanding now. When you start communicating without knowing him, then also that communication will reach to him. But you should be having clear that it has reached. For that alone you have to understand about the God, the nature of the God. That's what Krishna is bringing. He brought nicely from verse number 4 to 7. He just introduced there are two kinds of castes. One is known as a gross caste, known as Karya Prapancham. Then the next one is subtle caste, Karana Prapancham. This is what he said, Yogam Aishwaryam. These two words I have elaborately explained. So just I brought so that we could get connect with this verse. Verse number 8, he says, the devotion which is endowed with the understanding about Yoga Mahima and Aishwarya Mahima is known as Virat Bhakti. Virat Bhakti means what? When you are able to see the world is nothing but God, world alone evolved as the God. So when you want to see a God, in the preliminary stage, you have to go to the temple. If you want to see the Lord Mahavishnu, you should go to Srirangam or Thirumala. But after understanding of the next level, so what is the next level? God alone has become the world. Now in order to see the God, you need not to go to the temple. Just whatever is seen in front of you, they are nothing but Venkateshwara. This we have understood a lot. Now the Venkateshwara can be seen in any form. It means whatever the form comes in front of you, whatever the experiences are taking place in your life, all of them are nothing but Venkateshwara. This is what grown bhakti called Virat Bhakti or Vishwarupa Ishvara Darshanam. Vishwameva Ishvara Rupena Darshanam is a beautiful development in our bhakti. Many people are not even understanding what the bhakti. According to them, bhakti is a kind of imaginary things. No, bhakti is not an imaginary thing. Bhakti is a real one through which you can communicate with the cause of entire universe. This Virat Rupa Bhakti, when you convert yourself, previously you were thinking only one God. Now God has become the world. Everything is nothing but God. So this is the prayojana, that's what he says. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Whatever comes, that comes from the Vishnu alone. My God alone becomes cause of everything. My God alone has become the world. My God alone has become my own body, mind and sense complex. And my God alone is nothing but the prasadam. Prasadam means whatever the experiences that I get in my life. That is the benefit. So when you could develop your bhakti, you could expand your mind, you could become a kind of matured mind, you become a broad minded, you could accept everything is nothing but Ishwara Prasadam. There is no good things and bad things in the world. So all of them is because of our own mind categorizing attitude. All of them are nothing but categorizing nature of our mind. So there is no good, there is no bad. So all, whatever that we receive in our life, pain and pleasure, or association or disassociation, success, failure, all of them are nothing but God. This is told in the second chapter, Prasade sarva dukkhanam hanirasyopajayate prasanna chetasyo hyashu buddhi paryavatishthate. There God have told. So when you will understand the world is nothing but Ishvara, you will have the attitude of prasada. See, when you go to the temple, you don't know what kind of prasada is going to get. When you go to Tirumala, there sometimes you are given laddu, sometimes curd rice, sometimes other rice. But your perception, whatever you receive, that is prasada. Sometimes, in some other temples, only they give tulasi dala, only tulasi patra, some leaf, some flower, some fruit, coconut. In certain temples, they give mud, So one temple, I don't remember, Kartikeya temple in Chennai, I suppose. So they give only snake pit mud. That's what the prasada. But you won't make the face of seeing those prasada. Prasada is prasada. In the same way, when you understand the world is nothing but Ishvara, whatever the experience or experienced, all of them are nothing but prasada. That's what the big benefit. That understanding explained here for him to the devotee who has accepted, he knows very well in order to have my darshana, he need not to come to my temple. Just whatever comes in front of him, so that is my darshana alone. The best example is the pendant. I mean gold and ornaments. When gold have become ornaments, because blacksmith converts into bangle, chain or ring. Now after an understanding, gold alone has become bangle, ring, chain like. In order to see, to have the darshan of the gold, we need not to have a separate effort, or we need not to put forth a separate effort to separate the gold from the ornament. Now, when you see the ornament, just you are having darshan of gold alone. In the same way, God has become the world means what? Whatever you see, whatever you experience, are experiencing the God alone. Then your mind will get away from raga dvesha. All the likes and dislikes will be weakened. Then you could see the peace of the mind will be increasing. That is the benefit. That is known, that is told here. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. My bhakta, these Virat bhaktas are very clear. So everything has originated from me. That's all. Then, not only that, matta sarvam pravartate. And not only that, matta sarvam pravartate. Everything is happening in me alone. Iti matva mam bhajante. Iti matva mam bhajante means with this understanding they worship me. This is what the proper understanding, proper attitude, bhava samanvitaha. This is the intermediary level. This bhakti is very rare. This bhakti can be seen in all the Alvars, Nayanmars and Rishis and all yogis. Then the next words, Macchitta Madgata Pranaha Bodhayantah Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. With the understanding, their transactions are completely transformed into a wonder, because they become wonder. For them, the world is not other than the God. They don't want to even separate from their God. For them, every day, every experience, every minute is nothing but living in God, or living in the God, whatever it is, according to the grammar. So living in God, it becomes wonder. Because everything is God, including my body and sense complex, means what? I need not to get anything from outside. My transaction, I can just, give love, give devotion, show the attitude of Ishvara Bhakti. That's what becomes the transaction of a Bhakta. Now, in these words, especially the Vyavaharam, the transaction of Virat Bhakta is shown. Macchittaha. Their mind is occupied by only my vritti. For them, everything is Ishvara. So now, before this understanding, when you look at the mountain appears as the mountain that brings mountain vritti. The thought of mountain, thought of river, thought of water, thought of vehicle, thought of human being, thought of animals. When you look at the birds, the different species of the birds will bring different kind of thoughts, different variety of food. All of them will bring different thoughts now. After this understanding, Macchittaha, confidently Bhagavan says, for them, whatever they see, they will set only one vritti, Ishvara vritti, that too Vishwarupa Ishvara vritti. Among all the difference, they find only non-difference, God. Macchittaha. So because for them, the thought all belongs to me. Madgata Pranaha. They live with my understanding. What does it mean? For them, the energy every single minute is increased with God, 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 God. So for them, every breath becomes God. Madgata Pranaha. They are dedicated completely. They are not worried about birth, they are not worried about death, because need not to worry about birth and death. Everything is nothing but Ishvara. Bodhayantah parasparam. Then also they will communicate with others. Because usually what we share our love, this is what we think. No. We share our insecurity. We share our jealousy. We share our all this kind of nonsense things which are not required for our life. We comment on somebody, always talking about others' deficiency. But these people, when they open their mouth, they will talk about the glory of Ishvara alone. So nothing else will come from their mouth, and their body language also, it won't produce any negative energy. Everything is Ishvara, means only positive energy. Kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Every single minute will be enjoyed by them. Enjoyed by them means what? Not depending on worldly object. So if you are providing some sweets to them, they will have the sweets, but they think that all that enjoyment which are coming from the sweet, they will see just from Lord Venkateshwara. Kathayantascha mam nityam. That's what they will be endowed with completely Ishwaratvam. That's what Nityatvam. For them, the life is beyond birth and death. For them, life is a boon, nothing but the wonder with Ishvara. This is known as Sayujyam, Samepyam, Sarupyam. So this Sayujyam means endowed with Ishvara. Sarupyam means becoming in the form of Ishvara. Everything has come here because they don't find any different from the Ishvara. Their consciousness itself is nothing but Ishvara. These words has to be noted down because this gives the Lakshana of Vishwarupa Ishvara Bhakti, otherwise called Virat Bhakti. Next words. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupayanti te. Now Bhagavan says, so if a bhakta is continuing with this kind of Virat Bhakti, my duty becomes to take care of him. I become alert. I become alert towards him. That's what Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pireti purvakam. Tesham means to those people who are worshipping me with the understanding, that which is known as intermediary understanding, and who is endowed with me with a proper bhakti, which is told in the last verse. For them I am giving buddhi yogam. Buddhi yogam te dadami. Buddhi yogam means what? For them I am going to give the next level of understanding, which is known as Arupa Ishvara Bhakti, which is known as the final supreme bhakti. That will come in forthcoming verses. That's what he assures. Buddhi yogam, known as Jnana Yoga Nirguna Brahmam. By Shravana, Manana, etc. means a Shastra Jnanam. Paripurna Shastra Jnanam will be assimilated by them. Yena Mam Te Upayanti, by which they will reach absolute me in the form of Advaita Swarupam. That's what Bhagavan Krishna says here in different way. The way he connects here is wonderful. You may not notice, in the first level of understanding, people fix God is not the main destination. Okay? They use the God for their wishes. That's what called normal bhakti. But the second level of understanding, there is no goal at all. In order to come to the second level of understanding, they have to work with the first level of understanding. How? Changing the goal as the God himself. Now, one who fixes God is my destination, for him it becomes very easy to come to the intermediary level. So when he becomes intermediary level, then he becomes a matured soul, so that he could get the qualification automatically by the grace of Ishvara, which is given assurance in the 10th verse. These every verses are very important, which are not given outside. Bhagavan Krishna's mind, is very sharp and subtle. We need to have more dwelling into every verses. He just accepts, there are devotees, they are very matured people. They could see me in all the created world. Then my responsibility becomes very serious to them to elevate to the next level. That's what he gives. The Yena Mam Upayanti. He also gives definitely they've reached me. Okay. Next words. Tesham evanukam partham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayam yatma bhavasthaha jnanadipena bhasvata. These words, he becomes Buddhi Yogavantaha Jnani Bhakti. In these words, Bhagavan gives what is the next level. The next level Bhakti, how it would be. Means what? A person, one who has reached the final Arupa Bhakti or Advaita Bhakti or Nirvanam, what kind of Buddhi Yoga, what kind of understanding, what kind of bhavana, what kind of bhakti that he would contain is explained by Bhagavan Krishna here. That we will see from the next episode tomorrow. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.